Well,
good afternoon.
welcome back, everybody. Sorry for the short delay, but here we are. With me now is Gary Moore, live from the UK, and he will talk about a very exciting thing. I'm excited about it for the whole day because I myself want to know as well how to shred over 200 mattresses per hour. Gary, I don't want to hold you up. It's your floor. Tell us all about it. Let's go.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. And I would like to thank all of the EREC team for obviously inviting UNTHA and obviously myself to present this this innovation showcase. So very shortly, we're going to actually see, how we can shred 200 mattresses per hour. Very quick apology. I was working on UK time. Obviously, we were working on Austrian time, so many apologies for that. And as we have an international flavour, I should probably say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, a little bit about me for those people out there who do not know who I am. My name is Gary Moore. I'm the UK Sales Director and also Director for Global Business Development. I joined UNTHA in 2015, nearly 6 years ago now, and I have over 25 years of global shredding experience. Originally started life out as when I finished my apprenticeship in mechanical engineering long while ago now. First went into the construction industry, and then obviously then moved into the recycling and the waste industries, and then took over several director roles across Europe, Australia, and North America. Home at the moment is the UK, and I'm used to working with small, ambitious startup companies, as well as some of the larger corporations and blue chip organisations. And as you can see there, got a lot of experience in handling some complex recycling applications and dealing with some very severe duty shredding applications. So, the waste challenge. Well, you may be surprised by how many different ways you can dispose of a mattress. There are at least 10 different options, but some of them are expensive, environmentally damaging, and even illegal. So picking the best way to get rid of your mattress can be difficult. Up to now, 39% of mattresses are collected by a company delivering a replacement new mattress. 24% are taken to the local municipal waste site for onward processing. 19% are collected by a local council for onward processing. And only 9% are headed directly to a recycling centre. And unfortunately, the remaining 9% are either burnt, fly tipped, or in some unusual circumstances, directly collected by a specialist disposal company. Historically, disposing of mattresses, carpets, and other bulky waste in a proper manner has been a nightmare task for UK retailers and councils. Mattresses are bulky and heavy, making it a very labour-intensive job to dismantle and separate the many complex components for recycling. Approximately 8 million mattresses are disposed of every year, with the vast majority destined for landfill or placed in storage, creating huge mattress mountains. The UK, as well as Europe and further afield internationally, are finally waking up to this problem, and we are estimating that in the UK alone, more than 480 million mattresses will be heading for landfill over the next 60 years. That is, unless we can find a workable solution. Traditionally, manual separation has been the only effective way to strip a mattress, but this comes with many risks, is time-consuming and expensive. Pocket-sprung mattresses offer specific challenges as they contain between 1,000 and 10,000 single springs, each wrapped inside a textile-based polypropylene pocket. Wearing a mask and cut-proof clothing whilst using a blade to manually separate dusty 33-kilo mattresses is a tough, demanding job. Recruiting and retaining people to carry out such a task is very difficult. And although an experienced operative can process more than 65 mattresses a day, the sad reality is the mountain of mattresses will continue to grow at an alarming rate. Our customer spent 18 months investigating the use of innovative technology to make the process easier. The result is a bespoke recycling line consisting of two UNTHA XR 3000C shredders integrated with proprietary conveying, magnetic and wind shifting technology. So our customer, the reason for shredding is they needed to volume reduce the feedstock material to produce an additional revenue stream. They were looking to achieve a gate fee of approximately £10 per mattress. They wanted to volume reduce the bulky, difficult waste and thereby create added value through different revenue streams such as the FE that we separate from the material, the thermal insulation from the flock, and this thermal insulation flock material can go into inherent wall systems. It's inherently fireproof and fire retardant. But then when blended, we can also make an alternative fuel, such as an SRF blend of a very high calorific value. So the feedstock material, you can pretty much see these are typically all types of mattresses. And in this particular picture, you can actually see an old mattress along with a box sprung mattress. And these typically are loose and dry, but as we can see from a lot of landfills and a lot of municipal waste sites these days, left out in the open, these can be very, very wet, and when wet they become even harder to shred. Bulk density is approximately 180 to 200 kilograms per meter, and the form is particularly in sizes can vary between a single, a king, a queen mattress. So all forms of mattresses are needed within this system to be able to process. They are post-consumer, and typically what we do with this material is to feed the shredder. We use a grab machine. It's easier to feed the shredder using this method than trying to pick up a lot of mattresses that tend to bounce and spring everywhere with a front end loader or similar telehandler equipment. So onto the shredding solution or the innovation. The picture that you can now see in front of you is an UNTHA XR 3000C shredder. These are available in either static or mobile options, and you can see on there the picture shows you a four-sided bulk feed opening so that we can feed the material directly into the top of the shredder, and the actual access door is open on this machine, which shows you the cutter configuration on the rotor. And again, the motors that we use on these machines are low-speed, high-torque eco-drive motors, so a very, very robust heavy-duty motor application. The shredder, as I've said before, is the UNTHA XR 3000C, and the 3000 denotes that the cutting chamber length is 3 meters long. We also do a 2 meter version, but for processing mattresses, the 3 meter version is the preferred option in either a static version or a mobile version. We have 232 kilowatt drives, giving us a total power for this machine of 264 kilowatts. And the screen size we have for processing the mattress material is a 50mm standard screen. Now, the reason that we're using a 50mm screen for this mattress product is because that size produces and liberates the flock or the polypropylene material from the FE, the ferrous material. The way that the rotor and the configuration of the cutters and the screen baskets interacts gives an extremely high and a very specific quality of separation and liberation of the material. So on the machine that we have configured for mattresses, we have 2 knife rows, and there would be 42 standard cutting pieces on this particular machine. And in order to minimize the wear on the machine, because obviously this is a potentially eye wear application, the cutters can be rotated or indexed 4 times to give a much longer cutter life. And the rotor operating speed, as we said at the start of the presentation, slow speed, high torque. So we're only using 50 RPM to get where we need to be in terms of throughput volumes for this machine. So the machine is ultra configurable. We have a bulk feed hopper on this machine, 4-sided feed hopper, very easy to pick up multitudes of mattresses. We will see a video shortly which shows you the mattresses being fed into the machine, and we're feeding the mattresses in there one at a time, so it gives a better view of what is actually happening when we're processing the mattress, and you can see the rotor doing its job as well. But you can pick the grab of mattresses up, maybe 3, 4, in some cases 5 mattresses at a time, drop them straight in the hopper, and that will process those mattresses in the hopper. As I said, we have a cutter configuration to suit this application, 42 pieces of indexable cutters. We have, you can see on the picture there, that we have hard facing of the rotor. This is a crosshatch hard facing, produced in-house at the factory on our robot that does all of this fine work for us. And typically this will eliminate a lot of the eye wear in this application. And the cross-hatching has 2 benefits really. One, that it minimates the wear on the actual rotor itself, and also it is a good wear indicator to let us know when the rotor needs re-hard facing. We have a quick change screen system on this machine, so if we did have to change the product size, or the customer or the client required more throughput, less separation at this particular shredding stage, we can very quickly change the screen system. It's an hydraulic system, and the complete screens basket can be ejected in one single operation, removed with a forklift. The new screen basket goes in, and we can pretty much do a screen change in anywhere from between 30 and 45 minutes, depending upon the skills of the operator. We have a 4-sweep ram, so this machine is, as you'll see on the video shortly, as a ram assist on there. And this ram assist will actually keep the material fed down onto the cutting rotor to ensure we've got a very positive cutting action at all times. In the rubber tracks refer to the mobile application, and the complete machine, which weighs in at something like 37,000 kilograms, will sit on its own track mounted unit with rubber tracks, and can be used and moved to the source of the material. We have an automatic central lubrication system fitted the machine, and this is obviously what keeps the ram and any other items lubricated accordingly. So the machine, as we said, can be grab or front end loader feeded, but for the mattress application, we tend to feed with a grab. It's a very easy operation, and a single operator can process or can feed 2 machines. The discharge is via the conveyor belt with an inline magnet. And on the particular system that we're talking about at the moment, in terms of the innovation for processing mattresses, it's also installed with an air basic wind sifter. Throughput is up to 225 units per hour, and this is per machine. And again, the output there is at sub 50 mil per shredder. And this particular customer, to maximise their performance on the machines, is operating for 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And pretty much that shows you the service and the performance criteria inbuilt into the machine. This particular image that we can now see on the screen shows a single line layout. So this particular customer that has chosen one of these systems for processing, 225 mattresses per hour. That's a lot of mattresses per 10-hour shift. but they have two systems in a line. So to the left-hand picture, you would see that horizontal section of that discharge conveyor being continued, and there would be another shredder sitting there taking the product. The material goes straight into the feed hopper of the shredder, is then shredded, separated, liberated, and we have the flock and the metal, the ferrous material, dropping onto the discharge conveyor. The discharge conveyor will take the machine up to an inline magnet. The inline magnet will start to remove, on the primary system, remove the ferrous material and carry that over to the next conveyor. And then we will see the flock material, the clean flock material, being dropped out into the bunker section below. Now, what actually happens at that next stage is we have a mixture then of the liberated ferrous material and what is left of the polypropylene flock material carried onto that second conveyor. This material will then drop into an air basic wind sifter, and the wind sifter will separate the lights, which would be the polypropylene material, the flock, would separate the light material from the heavy material, being the ferrous, and then we end up with another batch of material, which is clean ferrous material and clean flock material. And the two flock materials from the initial primary bay and the secondary bay are mixed together, and then we have the clean ferrous material, which would then go to the scrap merchant. So over to you now for the video presentation. This will take approximately between 4.5 and 5 minutes, but we'll show you the system actually working. So hopefully you enjoyed the video there, and as you can see, you know, as we sort of process the material and go through the system separation, the real key to achieving such a high throughput is really not only in the shredder's ability to process the bulky waste as a whole, but it's the way that we design and configure the cutting system to interact with the screen system that will provide that very high level of separation and liberation that we need to then separate the material on the further upstream equipment. And you can see, you know, this is the customer feedback. This is from one of the directors of the company, and this is basically, you know, what the customer has said. So obviously, you know, this system has been in operation now for a little under a year, and still continuing to process very high volumes of mattresses. So just want to thank you all very much for your attention, and again, once again, thank you to the UREC team, and apologies there for the false start, but hopefully you enjoyed the presentation, and if you have any questions, be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Well, Gary, thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a quick audio trouble on my end. Are you finished?
Yeah, all finished now, yeah.
Yeah, so, excuse me, sorry. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I've got a few questions coming in here to the chat. Do you have a few minutes left over so we can discuss those?
Okay, good.
Perfect. Yeah, the first is says thanks, Gary, first, and then the question is whether there is a possibility to feed many mattresses at the same time.
Yes, we do. We do have another video that is actually being released very shortly. I think one of the problems that we have in being able to film this application is we actually need to show the customers, you know, in a lot of instances, one mattress being processed at a time, so that they can see the shredder in operation. We do have some drone footage that is going to be released very shortly that can show several mattresses being processed in any one given time.
Very nice. So do you know at how much would be the cap? How many mattresses can I feed at the same time, or is it just the whole 200 mattresses per hour?
It's pretty much, you know, although we roughly go anywhere between 200 and 225 mattresses per hour, we tried 7 mattresses the other day, and 7 mattresses, you know, they were all very large mattresses. They did make the machine reverse, so the machine has got its own protection that if it's too much, it will counter reverse, and then it will start up again to shred. So we have had up to 7, but I would say typically 4 or 5 at once would be very, very easy to do.
Totally. So I think more would be even hard to feed at the same time. as I don't think it's not that easy to load.
Yes.
Gary, I'm just getting told we have a few technical issues as it seems. I will just quickly maybe do a quick change of the screen maybe. Then we will go back. We are back. Sorry for interrupting you, as it seems like we are back right now. If you want, you can share your screen again. But here comes another question. We can go on and on. Are there any ideas how to separate the non-metallic output fractions like PU, latex, textiles, etc.? Do you need another machine for that, or will that be integrated into yours as well?
Yeah, typically what we're using is, the key to mattress shredding is really we want to separate the ferrous, the metal, from the polypropylene from the textile. So our key areas are separating the heavy and the light material. If you then want to separate once we've separated the polypropylene from the ferrous material, which is very easily done, then you can then separate the polypropylene or its other constituents, and you would typically use infrared sorting technology to achieve that.
Sure, perfect. Thank you so much. And another thing that came up was the price point. Can you say again? Can you give any indication about that, or is that very, very individual?
It's a difficult question because most customers have got some some fairly specific requirements, whether it be throughput in terms of the bulky waste that they want to process, or the end product that they want to produce, the quality of the end product. So, for a single system, you would probably be looking in the region of, probably 700,000 to 850,000. And for a twin system, you would probably be looking, upwards of 1.4, 1.5 million. And this would be in sterling.
All right, of course. Thank you so much. Then we have at least a little overview on what we will have to invest for one of your mattress shredders. Thank you so much. All right, Gary, I'm the wiser now. Thank you for that. As there are not coming in any more questions, I would ask everybody to head over to the booth of UNTHA, where I'm sure you can find even more information. You can get more answers if you have any questions. And Gary, the last words are yours, of course.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Felix, and I'm pleased that you understand a little bit more about the innovation for shredding mattresses, and I'm looking forward to taking your order very shortly. I'm sure you'll be placing an order for the twin system, so thank you for that.
Of course.
And thank you to all of the other listeners. Very much appreciated. So thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, it will be the next big accessoire for my house in the Hamptons. I'm sure the neighbors will be very, very looking after me a lot. Thank you. No, Gary, thank everybody for having us, for being here, and we will see you tomorrow for the next webinars. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.